Hello friends, it's your favorite neighborhood nerd Simone, and I'm here today to share a really beautiful pen with you that I was able to snag in the most recent release from White Bear Pens. Michaela and Claudia from the Cloudy Desk collaborated and released, I think, 8 or 9. They're called Pride Ursa Minors. I was able to snag number 6. And I would like to show you the unboxing experience or share it with you because I already opened it and it's really beautifully packaged. There's a lot of thought put into this, specifically this collaboration. Michaela from White Bear Pens made the pens. Claudia designed a sticker, and I think almost 50% of each pen was donated to a trans organization, and I think there is a snippet in here. So we can look at all of this. I just wanted to show you that the box lid is stamped with these 2 White Bear Pen stamps. It's lined with this gradient paper, and the box itself is also gradient from pink to blue or blue to pink. That is basically the color that I guess Michaela has chosen for her brand. Here is the card. It says, "Simone, thank you so much for supporting both myself and this amazing cause. I love how these turned out and I hope you do too. Have a great summer. Ink Tachia Ume Murasaki." So that is her White Bear logo. This is the Protect Trans Kids sticker that Claudia designed. White Bear and the Cloudy Desk. And I love how the baby bear cub is pink and blue, which I think says a lot. Okay, so then what else do we have? I wish they came with 2 so I could put one with the my documentation of the pen and then one on the outside of a journal. This is the White Bear Pen, one of the White Bear Pen stickers. There's quite a few stickers in here. This one, this is her card, handcrafted fountain pen. So if you want to check her out, it's www.whitebearpens.com, or on Instagram, it's White Bear Pens. The Trans Youth Emergency Project helps families through the maze of accessing gender-affirming care. And this is where it was donated to. Trans Youth Emergency Project. This is another sticker. It's the other stamp here, this one and this one. And I know that I would love to know, inquiring minds would like to know if this constellation theme was always on the forefront of Michaela's mind, like spacey. There's this space bear with the Ursa pen, then this bear has a nib in the top here, but also there's a star as a breather hole. So it's super cohesive, and I wonder, it's like, did this just emerge or how did it come? So let's continue. I know that she sends a sample of an ink with every pen. The one that was included in mine is Diamine Sugar Turtle Warm Heart. I have not tried this yet, so this is going to be very interesting. And then there was this package included, another White Bear Pen sticker. And then what else is in here? Oh, nice. Ursa Minor Eyedropper Guide. Oh, this is silicone grease. That is awesome. Apply a thin layer of silicone grease using included applicator to all threads. threads at bottom of Ursa minor ink window, threads on grip section, and threads on nib unit housing. Does it have a threads on the window? I need to look this up. We will look at the pen later in a second. Take care to avoid getting silicone grease on the back side of the nib housing where ink enters the feed, as this will prevent ink flow. Screw housing back into grip section. Using pipette, fill the body of the pen with ink, leaving space for the grip section to screw in. Screw grip section into body of pen. Lay the pen horizontally to allow ink to wick up the feed. This takes time. You can expedite it by dipping the nib in the ink to flood the feed. And special consideration, eyedroppering your pen may cause staining on the inside of the pen. Eyedroppered pen may experience ink burps. You can reduce the likelihood of this occurring by keeping your ink level high, keeping your pen stored and nib up, and not jostling them. That is really cool that she included all of this stuff to be able to successfully eyedropper the pen. I love that. So then the pen was extra wrapped in this, and I, as you can see, already ripped it all open. And then look at this fun washi tape. Happy New Pen Day. Super amazing. And then this box with the light on, this fits perfectly into the Pride. So I'm gonna put the box aside, put all the stuff. I'm gonna leave this here. I want to swatch this ink, putting this to the side. I want to keep this washi and put it in my I don't know if I'm going to put it in my ink journal or in my creative journal. Don't know yet. And then here, ta-da, is the pen sleeve. Each pen comes with a sleeve, and this one is a pocket sleeve. This one is lined in pink. And then here we have the pen. I love that it is color blocked, and so there is no threads here. Maybe I misunderstood the directions. And then this is, I touched it earlier with sticky fingers. I shouldn't have done this, but it's polished absolutely beautifully. As you can see, the threads look really nice. They work really well as well. I love this bubble up here. Same with the bubble down here. So my pen is color blocked in, this is a very hot, almost coral leaning pink, this mint teal green. It's really hard to say what exactly this color is. And then the top, it could be purple or blue. And then the back here is orange. There were quite a few pens that I liked. This was my number one choice. And I wasn't sure, should I go with the number one choice? Because I think this is a very loud combination. But then I decided, you know what? I really enjoy loud pens, so why not? The other one that I really liked was purple up here and an orange body. So this is called the Pride Ursa Minor. The one that I chose is the number 6. Here is the nib. The White Bear Pens logo is in here. I chose an extra fine. And I think they're all tuned by Kirk Spear of Pen Realm. And then here you have the nib. You could probably use a regular, let's try that. We don't have to actually put it in there, but we can try. This is an international standard cartridge. Would it fit? It sounds like, it feels like it, right? Yeah. And then let's see if we can push it all the way back, or if that's too narrow then. Nope. So you could totally use an international standard size. This is small. These tiny small cartridges would work. But I think what I'm going to do is eyedropper it. I want to compare it to some pens, then measure it, dip the nib, write all the, the stuff in there, I am always like analyzing all the threads and how sharp they are. It's tiny in my hand without being posted. It posts really deeply, which I didn't expect. For some reason, I thought it wasn't posting this deeply, but it is just long enough to fit over this part of my hand. This is how a pen feels okay. I need to figure out if this is enough to feel comfortable, but it doesn't feel like, sometimes when pens are a tiny bit shorter, they feel like if you stretch your fingers, they could slip through here. That's not the case. So I like that. The threads they are noticeable, but they're like the section moves straight into the threads and there's no step down at all. It goes down really smoothly. The section pinches right here and then tapers back out. The pen is postable. It is postable securely. And yeah, it has a straight cap, but the pen itself, the pen barrel, tapers down a bit to probably make posting easy. Wow, I have a hard time with words today, but it's almost dinner time for me, so I need to film this because I want to use it. And if I don't show up for you, I don't seem to show up for myself. I want to have all the specifications, the measurements of this pen written down. And it seems that the only way that I can do this for myself is by filming it. So that's why I'm doing this right now. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do is compare this pen in size to some pocket pens. I'm going to put this right here. And just as a reminder, wow, I think my camera is not positioned correctly, so I have to adjust all the time. Just as a reminder, this is not symmetrical, so this is higher than this. So what I'm going to do is align all the pens on the bottom, and you need to check the tops and not the wooden pen rest, pen tray that my son made for me, I think either last year for Mother's Day or I think last year for Mother's Day, which I thought, or maybe for my birthday, I have no idea anymore. The pocket pens that I pulled out, this one is another Maker pocket pen. This is a Mayfair Narya. This is a fully eyedropper pen. This does not accommodate a small cartridge like this one. And it is a screw to post like this and then works like that. And you would unscrew the nib unit to fill the pen. I do have an unboxing of this if you're interested. So this one is definitely shorter. Here is a Kaweco Sport. I do not have a nib in here, so it's not easy to compare. Here is a Benu Pixie. And then, I also forgot, of course, one that many people have, the Diamond Twisby Mini. And this one is the Sailor Pro Gear Slim. Now, interesting. I'm just going to uncap all of those and post them, because then it becomes glaringly obvious what is happening here with these two. Just imagine this nib was in here. All right, this one is also a screw to post. And so here we have them. This one would be, let's see how far this stands out. So this one would be about here. So in size comparison with the way that I would use these pens, I would post all of them. The Ursa Minor is the second shortest of them all. However, let's look at the grip section of the Kaweco Sport compared to the Ursa Minor. This is super tiny, super narrow. The Pro Gear Slim, also like all the others that I'm going to show you first, the nib is substantially smaller. Same with the grip section here. Most of the grip sections are smaller. And then this one is special because it actually comes with a regular number 6 JoWo nib, just like this one. However, I modded this one with a Pilot 742 nib, the FA nib, and I purchased a JoWo compatible nib housing for this nib and an ebonite feed. And now I can fit this nib unit into a JoWo compatible section. That's why the nib is odd, but it is also very similar in size as the Ursa Minor. The section is hard to compare because it does flare out quite a bit here. I can look up how, or we can measure later, how wide this is compared to this section. So let me quickly cap all of those that are inked. And then I'm just going to show it to you compared with some pens that are my standard comparison pens, so that you get a feel for the size of the pen. I'm going to bring out the Sharpie, the TWSBI Eco, and the Lamy Safari. Both are standard size fountain pens. This is a standard Sharpie. Obviously, because this is a pocket pen, it is shorter than these two. And I'm pretty sure that even when they're unposted, I do not post either one of these pens. They are both longer than the Ursa Minor. Again, the size of the nib matters here. Both nibs are smaller. And then let's just uncap the Sharpie. And actually, the Sharpie compares in length to the Ursa Minor when it's posted. When the Sharpie is posted, it doesn't. But if you were to consider an Ursa Minor, whether it makes sense for you to set an alarm and get on and get anxious about getting a pen or not, then actually, if you're okay and comfortable with the size of a Sharpie, you will be okay with the size of with the length of an Ursa Minor. The section is, I assume, is actually wider on the Ursa Minor. That is super interesting. I did not expect this, and that is super fun. So let me quickly remove those. And I'm going to leave this here because I want to measure the section width for those. So measuring stuff. I think, yes, trying to think on how I'm going to do that. Where's my ruler? I pulled it all out earlier, right here. I am measuring in centimeters. I'm not going to change that. So the length of the pen capped is 11.8 here, this is inked, you can use that. 11.8 centimeters. The length uncapped, unposted is 10.8, so it's exactly 1 centimeter less. 10.8. The length posted, I'm partial about the deep posting. On the one hand, I really like how deep this posts. It's just, I really like that. On the other hand, I'm like, oh, this is so deep. It's so short, but it works. 12.5 centimeters. Oh, this is not writing. 12.5. So how do I feel about the posting and how deep it posts? I am a little scared that I will post this too deeply and that I will crack the barrel or that I'm damaging something. So, but it does, even when I don't push it down really hard, it does post really securely. So that is definitely a yes and securely. Cap rotations, how do we determine those now? Oh, we can just turn the pen. That works. So 1, 2, 2 and a quarter. Okay, 1, 2 and a quarter. This would be a half. Okay, 2.25. The weight. Did I bring a scale? No. Oh my gosh, I'm so... Well, I had to bring up the dog, the water, and all the things. Feed the cats before I did this. I will put in the weight for this pen. It's really light. Very, very light. That is something that I'm not sure what I think about. For some reason, this feels much heavier. And I'm comparing it to this pen right now because they're both Maker pocket pens. This feels super light. Yeah, and I'm already, it's so dirty here. This is already getting dirty. Oh my gosh. So I want to do, though, I want to measure the section width of the grip section. Oh, and I also want to know the section length. So, all right. So on the narrowest part, the diameter, the grip section diameter is 11.3 millimeters. The diameter on the widest part, where you could hold it, is just below the threads. I moved down. I'm super afraid that with those metal edges, I'm getting dents in the scratches in the resin. Wow, language. 12.19. And I found that it seems to be interesting and important to me how long the section is. It's almost 2 centimeters. So I'm going to write this down. This is a new measurement that I have included. If I'm already measuring all the things, I can measure this too. So the other thing that I wanted to know is this is an interesting section here. It basically isn't visible. The only thing that happens is that there's an indentation right here, and I'm going to measure that narrowest part of that section. 13 point. Yeah, this is noticeably fatter, and I don't mind at all. I was a bit hesitant in the beginning, but I really, this combination, the nib and this pen, so they are so good. And then let me just see how wide this is. 10.6. Yes, that was noticeable. This is a tiny bit narrower than this one. All right, so I am going to dip the nib, and then we're going to write with the new nib and see how that feels. But I am actually going to swap out this nib for a different one. So this is going to be a longer video. If you're sticking to the end, I am going to switch this out with my Pilot number 5 nib. Decision made. I decided to stick this here, and then I am going to dip this pen into... I've seen Kirk's Beer do this. I feel like the ink that I'm dipping in, even if it's too much, will flow down the nib a tiny bit, so it's not super full when I start writing with it. I'm dipping it in Waterman Serenity Blue. And now I have no clue what I'm doing here. Did I do? Oh, we can just do this. This is the White Bear Pen's new pen. And even as I'm filming this voiceover, I'm still super excited. This is the Pride Ursa Minor with an extra fine nib, I believe. So I'm going to put this here, but if it's not correct, I will let you know on the screen. Tuned by Kirk Spear of Pen Realm. So downstrokes, side strokes, upstrokes. This works really well, very smooth. I really like it. So what measurements did we take? We have the length, capped, while you can watch me write all the measurements that we figured out earlier, I will tell you that the weight of the pen is 15 grams when it's capped or posted, and the weight uncapped is 10 grams. I measured that later once I was done filming the video. And then I'm going to read you my first impressions that I wrote. The first thing I noticed was the amazing presentation. It is thoughtful and deliberate. I am so happy that I was able to snag one of these pens, as it has more meaning to me than just any other pen. The pen is extremely well made. Everything has a purpose. I love the design, and I picked a great color combo that somehow reminds me of watermelon to keep you fresh and clean. And now that I thought of this, I see Tanith right in front of me. The cap posts steeply. Not sure I like that. It makes me think. And then I put in parentheses. It's not true. Is that parentheses? We don't know. The pen will slip. But that is actually not true. The section is quite short, and I'm scooting back onto the cap threads, but they are not noticeable. So that's not a ding. Did I say I love the bauble finials? I do. Now that I've written all of my first impressions, I'm going to swatch the ink that was included, and if I really like it, I want to put that in here and unscrew the nib and put my number 5 nib in here. So yeah, if that is interesting to you, please stay. If not, then I will see you soon in another video. if you are now interested in Michaela's work, or you would like you to get your own Protect Trans Kids sticker. I know that Claudia still has some in her coffee shop, so I will link that in the description box down below. She has quite a few stickers there, I believe. I bought 2 of them already. So yeah, she is doing amazing stuff, making stickers, and donating the proceeds to organizations that she thinks need support, which I really like. So let's put this on here. Let's see how this looks first. Now I went from silver to gold nib. What do I feel about that? Nothing. Because the nib is shorter, I wasn't concerned that the cap wouldn't accommodate for that, but because it's see-through, we can actually see that it does work. Then let's, how do we do this again? Hold. I brought out this tray that my friend Bailey made for me. So I'm gonna turn this a little. And then she actually even secured this with some, I think this is what you use for plumbing, to make sure that closures are, like, you know, connections won't drip. So I'm gonna swatch this right over here, the bottom of the page. So I'm gonna move this over here, and so that you can see. This is bright. All right, so how does this work? We're going to use a drop of this ink down here in the bottom. And we have water right here. Oh, I just saw the, oopsie. Then I'm using my Swink from Wendy Sue. This is such a collaborative video. Not just the pen is a collaboration, but also the video. Bailey, oopsie, that is ink. This is, oh my gosh. Yes, I want this in my pen. Why do I not have a bottle of this? How did I miss this existing? So, how do we do this? I don't even remember what she said. So I am just marching to the beat of my own drum here. I'm going to take some of the silicone from this cork here, and then I'm going to put it on the threads right here, which is where it does not come in contact, should not come in contact with any of the ink when I'm dropping the ink in here into the barrel. Okay, there's that. I have more of these, so I will need to make a note of this specific brush, that this is the silicone brush. So this is siliconed. Then we need the dipper thingy. I didn't even need to do that. Okay, so I don't want water in here. Just gonna, let's see, this is 2 milliliter. How much will go in here? Let's move this here so you can see better. So if I'm dropping 2 milliliters in here, it's almost to that ledge here. Do I just go full force? I think I should. So this is just below the threads. I'm using that line in here as my marker for how far I'm going to fill the ink. Now I'm really curious. Oh my goodness, this ink. I'm going to show you. Give me a sec. Here. It's almost fluorescent, orangey, neon pink. there's like, when I look from the side, there's this pink orange hue. So I'm going to screw this on there. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. There's some kind of cat hair again. Okay. Why is there ink up here? I need to change this. How do we change this? We change this, sorry, by dipping in this and then in water and then just going around this section. Why is this dirty here already? I don't know. This is why I cannot have nice things. So, because I want to write right now, I am not going to wait until the ink flows. We're just going to decide that, okay, all good, that we're going to dip this. If we can. Oh my gosh, I'm making such a mess. Look at the grip. Just cleaned it. Heck. Okay, so I do really need to post this pen though. I cannot not post it, but I love that it's not a screw to post. Diamond. Oh my gosh, I have missed this nib so much. Sugar turtle. And I think this is the perfect ink match for this pen. Warm heart. You know what this reminds me of? Raspberry rose. This is from a Pilot Custom 74. So this is the Pride Ursa minor, and this was number 6 with a medium 14 karat Pilot number 5 nib, Custom 74. Oh my gosh, I love this. I am okay. So now I need a Shown Design Monarch nib and another one of these pens, and then eyedropper filling the Monarch nib. I need to talk to Ian first, but look at, oh my gosh, look at this. You can see the ink down here in this orange, basically finial ink window. That is so cool. So far it doesn't seem like it's leaking. I love this. Ugh. I am so in love with this pen. Thank you so much, Michaela and Claudia, for coming up with this amazing idea, collaboration. Just in case you did not know, I have a transgender daughter, and I think, oops, there's water. What the heck? Yeah, I wasn't sure which color to pick, and my gut told me to pick this one. It reminds me of watermelon, and watermelon is something that my daughter said when she was in 5th grade after science camp, and awesome. I'm in love. Thank you. I'm so glad I was able to snack this. See you again soon. If you have a White Bear pens, I would love to hear how you like yours and which one you have. I don't think this is my last one. See you soon. Bye.